Welcome. Thanks for listening. This is Domain Dave from cheapwinefinder.com. Another wine review, like always. This is an inexpensive wine. Not too inexpensive, but inexpensive. It's $5.99 at Trader Joe's, but there's a story there, and I'll tell that in a second. It's the Maison Barboulot Cabernet Syrah Red Blend 2020 from the Languedoc. They have a couple of wines. They have a Maison Viognier white wine, and here's this Cabernet Sauvignon Syrah blend. And again, this is $5.99 at Trader Joe's, but in New York, where Trader Joe's can't sell wine, only beer, in certain New York retail shops, this is a $10 wine they said normally sells for $12. And in Germany, of all places, this is a €9 wine, which is $10 or $11. So, I hear people say, oh, that's too cheap, $5.99. Well, no, it's actually a bargain. It's a $10 to $11 wine. And an everyday wine, for red wine made to be an everyday wine, that's not an inexpensive wine. It's what it's supposed to be. One of the weird things about this wine, and I thought the label was just for the American audience, is that it's designed to look like a vintage, like village bistro wine. Because there's French writing on there, but a lot of it doesn't really make sense. It's like a high school student taking first year French wrote it. Normally it'll say bottled at my estate or bottled in my cellar. Bottled at my estate means they made it. Bottled in my cellar means they didn't make it. They just bottled it and aged it a little bit. And it says, I like white wine is one of them. Another one is, I want you to see my chateau. It's very handsome. It's like, what the heck? I mean, the things written on there don't make sense. And, it says, I like white wine on the bottle because the white wine, the Maison Viognier share the same label. Just all they do is change the grapes on there. It's a 50-50 blend on top of it. I'm going to take a sip. And the label does attract you to the wine. It did its job. It looks like it should be a French wine. And I'm really kind of, I'm shocked that they sell this in Germany, because Germany's not that far from France, and people there probably can read it, and it says silly things on it. I had, when I wrote about the white wine, someone told me that it wasn't silly, it was old French, which I thought was funny, but it tastes delicious. It's a red blend. Cabernet Sauvignon and Syrah don't normally go together, and in France, Languedoc is the one place where that can happen. It's the largest growing area in France, and it's where all the inexpensive wines come from. I mean, people who live in France, different growing regions, when they get everyday wines, they drink locally, but everyone else pretty much gets their inexpensive everyday wines from Languedoc. There are some areas in there that are pricey, but for the most part, they're making the wines that everybody drinks just like we drink. So when you're getting a Languedoc wine, you're getting a wine that the French like, and they like wine. So it's kind of like, maybe we should like it too. There is a correlation going on there. I'm going to take a sip. Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot usually go together, and Merlot softens the Cabernet Sauvignon. So Cabernet Sauvignon can be a little hard-edged, and the Syrah can do it too, but it's going to add a little bit different flavor profile. Maybe some blueberry rather than black cherry and blackberry, and it's going to bring some spice to the table, which is a nice thing to go along, because you don't normally get a spicy Cabernet Sauvignon. I mean, it's not something that does without a little help from another grape. And you get this little nice spice on the mid palate and the ripe fruit up front. And all you're paying is $5.99. And I'm going to pour myself a little bit more. should be talking, but I'm pouring because it's good wine. It's an everyday wine. You know, as we get closer to the holidays, you know, I'm going to start going a little bit more upscale because people are going to have people over, and you know, sometimes a $5.99 wine is just fine, especially when it tastes really good. But sometimes you want to mark the occasion, and we'll start doing that coming up. And still got a couple of days to talk about wines that will go for the Thanksgiving meal. So we got things going on. So this is a $5.99 going on $10, $11 red blend from the Languedoc. It's a little bit of a different blend, but using grapes everybody is familiar with. It tastes really good. The tannins are sweet. They don't bite. The acidity matches the wine, lets it flavors unfold. It's got ripe fruit flavors. Alcohol is 13.5. That's typical nowadays. It's just a nice little drinking wine. It doesn't cost that much money, but if you want to in New York, you can pay almost twice as much. So there you go. What I have, I think I have a rosé coming up and a fancy Zinfandel, and I think I've got a bargain Pinot Noir for Thanksgiving. That'll be probably later on this week or beginning of next week. And took another sip because it's one of those wines that just tastes good. It's not the greatest wine in the world. It's not going to blow your mind how great it is. But you're paying $6 and you get something that you want to keep sipping. That's pretty good if you ask me. So that's Domain Dave, cheapwinefighter.com. Like us where you like your podcast. If you will, just push the button. And it does some good, I think. And stay safe. Stay healthy, and I'll be talking to everybody in a couple of days because we've got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of wine going on until the end of the year. So, adios, bye-bye.